Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are feeling fine. So students, today we are going to discuss our next chapter of second unit test syllabus, that is reproduction in plants and animals. Students, first of all you should know the process of reproduction. Reproduction is the process by which the individuals the organisms they give rise to individuals of their own kind for the survival of their species. So in this process the parents or genetic characters they are passed from parents to offspring, and which in turn passed on to their own offspring. Now students, there are mainly two basic modes of reproduction. One is known as asexual, second one is called sexual. Asexual requires only one parent. Means asexual reproduction is that reproduction in which only one parent is involved, and in this reproduction a part of the parent's body it gives rise to an individual. Wherever in sexual reproduction, whereas in sexual reproduction there are two parents which are involved. One is male and the other is female, and each contribute a sex cell which is also known as the gamete. Now in animals, the male gamete it is called the sperm and female gamete it is called the ovum. And when this sperm and ovum they get fused with each other, then they give rise to a single cell which is called zygote. Then there are further divisions in zygote, and then it give rise to embryo. Now the embryo it grows into a baby, and baby it grows further into an adult. So it is all about the sexual reproduction. Now there are points of differences between sexual and asexual reproduction, and the most important is that in asexual reproduction the offspring produced it is having the same character as the parent. Means the same characters from parents they are passed on to their offspring, and the parents genetic traits they are carried by the offspring generation after generation. Means same characters they are passed from parents to offspring, and then from that offspring to next generation, and then from next generation to another next generation. So it means generation after generation the same characters they are passed from one generation to another generation. But in sexual reproduction there is variation of characters. Now the question is why there is variation of characters? Because in sexual reproduction two parents they are involved, so the characters they are coming from both the parents. So the offspring it receives some traits of both parents, and he is never exactly like either parent. Means offspring he is never exactly like his mother or his father. Now students, we will discuss some modes of asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction's first mode it is the binary fission. Binary fission means in which one organism it divides into two, or the cell of one organism it divides into two daughter cells, and the genetic material in the parent cell's nucleus it is duplicated before division occurs. Duplicated means the genetic material which is present in the nucleus it gets doubled before the nucleus it gets divided. Now the parent cell's nucleus it then divides into two, and the genetic material which is already duplicated it gets equally divided into both the daughter nuclei. The middle of the cell it gets constricted after this, and this portion becomes more and more narrow until the cell splits into two. Now the students, as you can see in this diagram, you can see here that this is a unicellular organism. Means this organisms this is the amoeba, it is having only one cell, and here you can second diagram you can see the genetic material which is present in the nucleus it gets duplicated or doubled, and again in the third diagram you can see when this full nucleus it gets divided into two nuclei, then this genetic material it gets distributed equally among the two new nuclei, and here there is constriction. This narrow space it is known as the constriction, and when this constriction occurs then this one nucleus it gets fully divided into two new nuclei. So these are the two new nuclei which are formed by the process of binary fission. So it is all about the binary fission. Now this binary fission, it takes place among the simplest organisms like amoeba, paramecium and bacteria. Now in some organisms like chlorella and chlamydomonas, the process of multiple fission occurs. Multiple fission means it is a process in which one cell, it gets divided into four daughter cells. So this you can again see in this next diagram, that here you can see this is the one cell, and this cell in the next diagram you can see it gets divided into four daughter nuclei, and this is known as the multiple fission. Now our second mode of asexual reproduction, it is the budding. Now firstly, what is bud? Bud means small outgrowth which is present on the outer surface of the parent's body, and from this bud the new organism, it can arise. And when the new organism arises, then this new organism, firstly it remains attached to the parent's body in the form of bud. It remains attached to the parent's body, then it grows, and when it grows well, or when it is capable of survival independently, then it gets detached from the parent's body, and then it leads its individual life. Now this process of budding, it is common among some simple organisms like yeast and hydra. These are the two examples in which this process of budding can be seen. Now in yeast, this cell, it divides unequally to produce two cells. The cell, it divides unequally to produce two cells. First of all, an outgrowth, it appears at a certain point on the yeast body due to the accumulation of cytoplasm at that point. Now in this diagram you can see that this is the yeast body, and here you can see this is one bud. This one bud, it is formed due to the accumulation of cytoplasm at this point. Now the nucleus of the cell, then it divides into two, and one of the nuclei moves into the smaller cell. Then the larger cell which is formed, this is a larger cell, this is a smaller cell. This is the bud, and this is a larger nucleus, and from this, when the nuclei divides into two, then smaller nuclei pass on to this bud form. Now the larger cell formed, it is called the mother cell, and the smaller cell formed, it is called the bud. It is also known as the daughter cell. Now bud, when it grows fully, then it gets detached from the parent's body or from the mother cell, and then it is capable of survival independently. Now this process of budding in yeast, it is very fast, and these buds, it can be produced in the form of chains also. Means this process of budding, it is very fast. When one bud is produced and simultaneously the another bud is produced, this another bud give rise to another bud, and in this case you can see there is a chain of buds also, and each this cell, it give rise to one or more bud. Now you can see this is a one single cell, but it gives rise to so many buds, and in turn all these buds, they give rise to more buds of their own kind. So it is the process of budding in yeast. Now we will talk about hydra. Now in hydra you can see repeated cell division at a certain point on the parent's body. It produces an outgrowth. So this outgrowth or bud, it is produced by the repeated cell division by the repeated cell division inside the organism's cell, and then this produces a bud, and this bud which develops it gets developed into a new organism. This you can see that it is a new small hydra. Now the new organism, it grows to maturity, and then goes to maturity just like this, then it gets detached from its parent. So it is all about the budding. Now our next way, or the next mode of asexual reproduction, it is a fragmentation. Fragmentation, it is a form of asexual reproduction in which new organisms are formed from pieces of the parent's body. From pieces of the parent's body, new organisms, they are formed. Now students, if we take the example of Spirogyra, then you can see that the body of Spirogyra, it is formed of small scale like structures, and it is in the form of a ribbon like structures, and these are the small segments, and from each segment the new Spirogyra, it can be produced by the process of fragmentation. So this process of fragmentation, it can also be seen in some types of fungi, plants, annelids, flatworms, and sea stars. So it is all about the fragmentation, and in fragmentation the filament grows as the cell. As in case of Spirogyra, I have told that the body of Spirogyra, it is made up of small segments or small filaments. So each filament, it grows as the cells that constitute it grow, and then these cells get divided, and when these cells divide, then the filament breaks into 2 or more parts, and then each such part grows into an individual. The next process, it is known as a regeneration. Regeneration, it is a modified form of fragmentation, and this process can be seen in case of hydra, earthworm, flatworm, starfish, etc. And this regeneration, it can also be seen in case of lizards also. Actually students, regeneration means regrow or getting of the lost or damaged parts. When an organism, it gets back its lost or damaged part, then it is called regeneration. Now these organisms, they can also give rise to new individuals from their broken body parts. From the broken body parts, the new individuals they can arise, and there are other organisms which can regenerate certain broken parts. As in case of lizards, you can see in case of lizard, a lizard, whenever it feels that some fear, some kind of prey is coming towards it, then it at once break off its tail, so that the prey's attention, it gets concentrated on the tail, and it gets away from that place in order to escape. So in this way, this broken part tail, when it grows back, this tail, it gets broken away, then it can grow back its tail, and then grow back its tail and give rise to again new, not new individual, means give rise to a full or developed individual along with the tail. And the same way, grasshopper, if it lost its legs, then it can also get back its legs by the way of regeneration. So in case of lizard also, I mean to say that if a lizard, it lost its tail, then it can get back its tail by the way of regeneration. And in this way, they can only get back their broken parts, but they cannot give rise to complete new individuals. However, in case of starfish, from the broken part, the new organism, it can be developed, but in case of lizard and grasshopper, the new individuals, they cannot develop. Now our next process, it is known as the spore formation. Spore formation can be seen in case of fungi, algae, mosses, and ferns, and all these organisms, they reproduce by way of spore formation. Now some bacteria, they also produce spores that serving as a resting or dormant stage, or for the bacterial cells to survive under unfavorable conditions. Means, what is spore? Spore, it is the resting stage by way of which the organisms, they can survive under unfavorable conditions. Unfavorable conditions means when the temperature, it is too hot or it is too less, or when the conditions, they are not favorable for the survival. Then spores, they are teeny cells, and these teeny cells, they can be motile. Motile means they can move from one place of another place. Can be non-motile also, but many times, in most cases, they are motile. They may be surrounded by a thick wall that protects them against unfavorable conditions. And as these spores, they are light, so they can be easily carried from one place to another place with the help of air or water. And the spores, those manage to reach places where conditions are suitable. Then here these spores, they get burst, and then the individuals which is living inside it, they become active due to the availability of food, moisture, and warmth, and then they give rise to new individuals. So it is all about the spore formation. So now the students, in the next video, we will discuss about vegetative propagation. Until that, you have to revise all these topics. So stay safe and stay healthy. Bye bye.